I am a mighty hawk. You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam, and I'm your host, and today's episode will be brought to you after these words from our sponsors.
You feel it, don't you? The pull, the hunger, the unanswered question that gnaws at the edge of your mind. You could turn away, ignore it, pretend you never heard the name. But we see you, we know you, and we are waiting. Elf sandwiches.
Episode 3. Hi, guys. We're going to go straight into it because we're in the middle of a combat. So I'm going to ask everybody to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about their characters. So we'll start with Ross today.
Hi, I'm Ross. I'm playing Savriel Soy, a Nautolan soldier sharpshooter who is currently using a pistol to shoot something bad in the head.
My name's Ed Fortune. My character is Captain Carter Heek. He is a Tynan, which is a beaver person, and he is an engineer saboteur. He is currently looking extremely dashing, as he usually does, because he has the finest teeth on the planet.
Hi, I'm Lou. I'm playing Kuru Arak, a Shistavanan commander, who is currently trying to direct everyone to the kitchen, because that's where the most lethal people in the house are.
My name is Adam, and I'm playing the Miralukan Kalanat priest of Neridia, Rokeo Balazari, and I am about to die like a peasant.
That's the spirit.
You're only as safe as the slowest person, and I have a crippled leg. Bye, everyone. My next character will be...
The LeRoux estate is under assault. With the revelation of the Prism of Karaf and the saving of Colonel LeRoux by quick work of the Doctor, the estate becomes the battleground for a fight between the party. I'm going to call them heroes because we don't know them quite well enough yet. The heroes of the tale and a mysterious group of amphibians with sharp teeth and claws holding vicious weapons that have broken themselves through into the estate and are, for reasons unknown, assaulting the party. You are in the dining room. There has been a brief exchange of gunfire. I say exchange, they're only using primitive weapons, but there has been a brief shout of gunfire, and there has been a call from Kuro to bring everybody down into the kitchen, for it is the most defensible place. You've already heard shots of blaster fire from somewhere in the house, and it's thought that perhaps the housekeeper is the one with the blaster rifle. We're in the middle of combat. It is the new round. The first person to go is a player. Who would like to break the ice of the episode?
I think it would be a good idea to continue to defend the recently about to have dinner. I'm not sure what the party.
The guests.
The guests. That's the word I'm looking for. I mean, my targets were going to be the people who were attacking Adam's character. So,
They're not far away from him.
they're not far away from him. Whichever ones look most about to cause harm to us. By us, I mean all of the guests.
The one with the big club that swung at Adam previously is in the forefront of the window. The others are still climbing through, so you could take a shot off at them.
I will take a shot off for that first person. I am going to use true aim before I do it.
Yep, so you get the standard boost for aiming, and you get to upgrade your check once per rank of true aim.
I have one rank in it, so I get to use an extra yellow instead of a green. Difficulty is 1, 2?
It's a short range, so 1.
That is a failure and 3 advantage. This is going great.
You fire off a couple of shots at this large amphibious creature, but it ducks out of the way. They seem quite agile and wary of your weapons. Whilst they're not afraid of them, they understand what they do. You leave 2 sizable holes in the plaster on the far wall.
Yep.
And it is, unless you have anything else you want to do, there go.
It will be there, go. I mean, I do have plenty of things I want to do, but they all involve running away and shooting more of them. So I think that's going to have to wait till next round.
The one that you just shot at, which was staring at you, Lou, for a second, snaps round at the shot and leaps across the table to stand on top of the table near to where you are, Ross. It brings its club, it's mostly shattered from the shots from previously, up, holding it in two hands, and drives it down at you. Let me just roll to see if we can hit you. What is your melee defense?
It's 0.
Okay. Well, you'll be happy to know that from Lou's attack last round, it's got a couple of setback dice.
Okay, good.
It does miss you, but it has got free advantage, which I'm going to bank for now. As it swings its club down, you step backwards, and it skitters a chair across the room, splintering it as it does so. The others start climbing in through the window. There's about 6 of them, all with non-uniformed weapons. Some of them are swords, some of them are knives, others are clubs and other gruesome weapons. The swords and anything where you would expect there to be metal is a black obsidian crystal, and they are of singular focus, getting into the room and having their best combat with you, which is a terrible way of describing things, but never mind. It is a player.
I would like to, now that the focus has been taken off of me, duck into the room, assist in getting the colonel up, and trying to escort him to a place of safety.
He is not quite dead weight, but you are doing a lot of the carrying. He could probably not move himself along by himself. He has had a bit of a hard few minutes, but he takes your shoulder under his arm and you lift him from the ground, and yourself and the doctor try and move him out of the room. It is clear from how he's leaning, the doctor's help is somewhat superficial, but he's got the other arm. And with your action, you can do a move up and then move out of the room quite happily with him.
Yes, and to just start escorting people into the kitchen, leading the way, because it's possibly not somewhere that most of them have been before, except for the captain.
The kitchen is unsurprisingly quite close to the dining room, just across the hall. So it's fairly easy to get over there. The door is open, and you can hear signs of panic and an altercation going on from inside the kitchen. The other group of amphibian attackers pulls their way through the window. There's probably about 12 of them now, and they outnumber you once they're in the room and are pushing back anybody who's fighting them. Captain Chateau is also in the fight and is defending against one of these swords with his chair, but backing up. They're pushing you back into the room. One of them takes a swing at Ed, I think. In fact, not even a swing. A big, heavy, cleaver-like knife is launched at you. Even if it doesn't hit you on the sharp side, it's still a very heavy weapon, and it is flung towards you. What's your range defense, please?
That's a really good question. I think it's 0.
Well, you'd be happy to know that the Discord rolling system is hated of me as well. So that's 4 advantages and 1 failure. So the knife scatters past you, embedding itself in the wall near the fireplace. As for the advantages, I'm going to take those advantages and the accrued ones, and I'm going to say that as you head towards the kitchen, you hear a scream from in the kitchen, and I'll explain what happens when you get there. Okay, who's go next?
So they're all pouring in. Carter would like to move himself between the creatures and Lady Vale. And is there a chandelier in this room?
Yes, but it's not a huge hall. It's a chandelier above the table, so it's probably only about 6 feet up from the table.
Would one carefully placed shot cause sufficient enough of a barrier to slow these creatures down so we can all get into the kitchen?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's not lit anymore because the lights all went out, but it's a big, heavy chandelier. You could definitely try and shoot it.
So one of 2 things, because it pulls out pistol and looks round and is basically an engineer. What's the best way to get this chandelier down? Is there a convenient rope that I can pull? Can I use Star Wars door rules and just blast that control?
It's a rope.
Right.
a velvet sort of thing by the time it gets to where you can put your hands, but you can look and see there is a cable that goes from the chandelier across the ceiling and then down to the far side. The only problem is that the rope for this, the chandelier is behind these creatures. So if you want to knock it down, you'll have to do an aimed shot against the far wall.
Yeah. I'll do an aimed shot against the far wall. What's my difficulty, and do I get anything for also understanding how the mechanics of this works?
I will argue that you know exactly where to shoot, so I will give you a boost, but I'm also going to give you a setback because it's quite a small target.
Yep.
If I could suggest,
Yeah.
so a called shot like this is that an aim maneuver that instead of giving you a boost gives you 2 setback because you're aiming for a small specific point. So that might work out for the maneuver, and then with the extra boost because he knows the engineering of it to balance out.
No, that seems reasonable. It's not as small as one would expect. So I say a cold shot with just 1 setback and the boost for your engineering. So yeah, standard roll, 2 difficulty, 1 setback, 1 boost.
And after all of that, I get 1 success and 1 advantage.
That's enough, man.
I was going to say, it's a success.
Yeah, that's what you were looking for. It's the golden number. Your shot cracks out, and you hit the rope, but it doesn't sever it immediately. There is a maybe about it could be 5 years, it could be 3 seconds, because you're focused so much on it, and finally the strain on the damaged rope snaps, and the chandelier comes plummeting down into the table. There is 1 of them on the table, and if you want to use some of those, you got advantage, didn't you? Sorry.
Yeah, I've got an advantage.
Yeah, if you want to use that advantage to hamper that guy specifically, that I'm very happy with.
So I think the way this looks is push back, get myself to the back of where Lady Vale is, carefully aiming so that's where I can shoot. And like as the chap is coming towards me, I'm like, wait for it. Bang, miss, goes over the creature's shoulder, and just as it's about to go at me, it hits him, and I pop back looking slightly smug and go, "We need to run."
The chandelier crashes down onto the table, and whilst it is not candlelit, it is powered by the house. It is an electric powered thing, and as it smashes into the table, it kind of blossoms into a wall of sparks as the table's impact damages the chandelier to a point where you really wouldn't want to be dealing with it. Sparks fly everywhere, candles are knocked over, and the table just is in massive disarray.
They're not fazed by this, are they?
Nope, they should be. For everybody else, it is clear that the captain is aware of what these things are. He's mentioned a few times what the hell they should be reacting, but he is seemingly quite obviously perturbed by the fact they're not reacting in the way that you would expect.
I'm intrigued by that, but at the moment, I need to put that academic curiosity to one side. So I think I'm taking the last player slot.
Yeah.
I'm going to, with my right hand, kind of grab Lady Vale's shoulder, not roughly, but firmly, and go, I know it is dark out there, but that is no hindrance to me. Follow me, and I will lead us to the kitchen on safety. Come, this way, everyone, this way, follow me.
Okay.
And I will start leading them out there with my enhanced senses.
Cool.
Towards the kitchen.
I should say that your senses are in, whilst you've sharpened them with your powers, they are exceedingly focused right now, because all of the walls and the people, even though the box is shut, are being bathed in like a low level force explosion. You're probably right. Yeah. You can see where the intricacies of the box are hitting everybody around, so you can kind of sense where they are even more firmly, especially because their emotions are heightened and there's a lot of fear around.
Rokeo, as part of his Kalanat training, especially as a Kalanat seer, has been taught how to suppress his own fear and anxieties and nervousness in times of stress, so he bottles down.
Yeah.
He's also a leader of people when he has to be, and he knows that if he starts to panic, then everyone will panic, and what the rest of these guests need is someone to lead them out of here safely while the soldiers, while our defenders defend. So he's going to suck down this kind of fear and not let on that everything is not being bathed by the glorious lights of the moon and the goddess above who is watching him, but through this dark, lambent energy. And he's going to, just start leading the way. I'm going to, unless I need to make a leadership or charm or discipline test, I'm going to drop down my actions to maneuvers and start using that to lead people out of here to the kitchen.
I'd like you to roll me a leadership test, but it's not. This isn't based on how successful you are. A wash on this, you will still be able to lead people out to the kitchen. Yeah. I just want to know how compelling you are to the people who are possibly distracted by what's going on in here.
Yeah. What's the difficulty, please?
Just one.
And I remove setbacks. Not that there is one at the moment, but I would remove a setback. My presence is not very good, but at the moment he's staying level-headed or as best he can. And that is a success, but 2 threat.
The threat is fine. I will deal with the threat later. Yeah. I'm just going to kind of scurry those away. Don't worry too much about them. But the success is what I wanted to see, because I know you can command people, but I really wanted to see, as a person with particular abilities, you'll be able to push even further. And you snap people back into reality, and everybody starts piling out the room, but not in a disorganized way where they're all rushing for the door. People are walking out with their backs turned. Shots are being fired off while it's done. You are retreating, not running away.
Yeah, we've not been routed. We are.
That is exactly what I needed to know. Basically, if there was panic there, but you have managed to keep the panic to a minimum while everybody gets out of the room. Okay, we're on the next round. Let's describe a little bit about what's been going on. Lou, as you get closer to the kitchen, you hear another couple of shots from a blaster rifle, and as you enter over the threshold, you see, exactly as you expected, the housekeeper there with a blaster rifle, with the kitchen table turned on its side. It's a big, heavy hardwood kitchen table with 2 of the waiting staff and Mrs. Tolis behind the table. And every so often, she pokes her head up and lets off a couple of blaster shots. One of the creatures is dead. There is clearly something else outside because she's still firing away. But there is a creature in the threshold of the kitchen door, which is open to the outside, lying there, slightly smoking. And I mean that in a it's dead because it's got a bullet hole in it, not in a cool French way. The table is defending you against the kitchen door as well, so you can get into the room behind the table without so much of an issue. But we're going to go right back to the top, and it's a player, so who wants to go?
Ross, do you want to grab your rifle?
That sounds like a good plan.
That can be as a manoeuvre as you go through.
Yeah, I mean, grabbing the rifle, it's just a question of whether I get to attack anything with it along the way. That's going to be a bit more complicated because it's probably not been set up.
If you want to get into the kitchen and use it to fire with, you're going to have to use a manoeuvre to get into the kitchen and a manoeuvre to collect it. So you'd have to take a bit of strain if you want to use your action to fire.
Okay, let's do that. Let's have some strain because...
So 2 strain.
2 to strain.
You make your way across towards the rifle, pick it up, and as you're picking it up, you pull your magazine out from one of your pockets, clip it in, and almost unconsciously cock it, check it, as you're walking towards the kitchen. By the time you're at the kitchen door, your rifle is ready and primed.
Yeah, it's just a matter of which is the most immediate target, and I'm guessing it's still the big thing that was going to attack me with a club a few minutes ago.
Oh no, that is behind you in the drawing room. They've not gone through there. If you're going into the kitchen, there is another set of adversaries there, of which if you're walking in, you can see not the amphibians, but the glow of their eyes just outside the threshold of the light of the door.
Okay. I lend my support to the rest of the kitchen staff and I open fire at the things there.
It's going to be difficult too, but I'm going to have a couple of setback because you can't really see what's going on out there. You're firing from a lit area into a dark area.
Couple of setback. Does anybody mind if I use a light side point and get... Nope. No successes, a triumph and 2 advantage.
So you miss, but you have a triumph and some advantages to deal with. What would you like?
Maybe drive them back for a bit.
Yeah, maybe I mean, they haven't been intimidated by any of the weapons so far, but I'm thinking something which makes it like the, I don't know, lights appear. You know, I said our sprinkler system. The lights suddenly go off around the garden. It's easier to see the things that are outside.
Is there a supply of brandy nearby?
Yeah, could you maybe have shot something so it started a fire that again is stopping them coming in or something like that? Maybe.
I'm happy with that as an idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit concerned about where the brandy is that's going off, but
not brandy, but the lights around the house are electric and off at the moment. But if you want to do to have shot, missed them, but hit one of the outdoor lights, causing it to spark and light up the area for a short period of time as it crackles in the rain.
Yeah, so we can see a lot more easily from now on.
Yeah, your shot fires off and flies past them. There were two of them together, which you thought were a set of eyes, but you went right between the two of them. Fortunately, it cracks against one of the lamppost-like lights they have around the house, which explodes into a shower of sparks, illuminating just outside the kitchen. There's 4 of them there. Whilst they're not scared of these weapons, they clearly don't want to set foot forward against this blaster. They're not scared of your guns, but they're scared of the blaster. It's very clear because they're not coming any closer. Also illuminated about 50 yards behind where the kitchen is a large building which houses the Manor's airship, and you can see lights on inside there.
Is there an emergency generator somewhere in the house?
Yeah, Lou will know where it is.
That might be another goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
NPC to go.
These group of the amphibians are not in front of you, they're behind. You all made your way out of the dining room and into the hall now, just on the cusp of the kitchen. And at the dining room door appears one of these amphibious monstrosities. And it swings for, I think, Ed, because Ed was a little bit behind. Probably about the same distance from everybody than Adam, but I think Ed is your...
Carter is actively putting himself in harm's way because that's the kind of character it is.
He comes in nice and close. You don't have any melee defense, do you?
Nope. Just wearing my uniform / riding gear. But which really, I should have smartened myself up for this posh do, but...
I have not been able to hit anybody this entire thing. They're not incompetent. They know what they're doing. It's just this dice roller is terrible to me. It breaks to the door and swings its club at you. But because it's in a door frame, and perhaps they're not used to the niceties of door frames and the like, the club sticks in the top of the door. It looks frustrated as it tries to wrench the club out from where it is. The rest of them move forward a little bit. The next one's going to get an advantage on the roll. Player.
So where are we? Are we all heading into the kitchen?
You're all in the hallway. Some of you have entered the kitchen now. The people have entered the kitchen. Lou is at the door and can see what's going on in there, but you're presently in the hallway with the dining room now at their mercy as you head to try and bring everybody together.
So, and there's one that's just attacked me. So I'm the furthest away from the kitchen.
Yeah, but you're still only short range from the kitchen though. It's a big house, but not that big.
Okay. Am I okay to go next? Does anyone mind?
Go for it. You're in the most immediate danger at the moment, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he's really trying not to kill these creatures, but he's going to have to.
Do it.
The one that failed to hit me is not the one I'm worried about. The one that's about to hit me, I am worried about. And he pops his revolver and shoots.
Okay.
I'm trying to basically be in the way also. Like, I'm essentially being... I mean, only 1 meter too, but still.
Yeah, I mean, if I could roll any successes, you'd have definitely been hit instead of other people. But it's not happening right now.
I'm just trying to think if there's a better way to do this than shooting someone. No, there isn't. I don't have the leadership. Right. Is that short range or is that point blank?
It depends. Are you shooting one back in the room? You could shoot one at point blank. There are some at short range. You could shoot behind him.
What I'm trying to do is get the ones that are closest to causing everyone else harm, like, shot. So hopefully that slows the rest of them down, if you see what I mean.
The guy in the door, I'll give you an advantage if you attack the guy in the door because he is basically prostrate trying to pull his club out. Point blank, too difficult to be, you'll get a boost. Yeah, easy to shoot somebody behind him, but an advantage to shooting this guy.
So that's 1 advantage and 4 success.
Nice.
Cool.
No, that's the wrong way around. It's 4 advantage and 1 success.
Okay.
It's still a hit.
What's your crit rate?
Oh, for a revolver, 5.
Oh, shit.
It's really high with slug throwers because they're less likely to just like vaporize limbs with plasma fire.
Okay.
Damage 4.
Okay.
So that's 5.
Okay, what do you want for your advantages?
What I'd like to do is knock one of them, like the one that. So there's one that's got the thing cut, and the other one, I like literally in the chest, point blank, and they shoot back.
Yep.
And it gets in the way of others that are coming towards, if you see what I mean. So, like you're fighting a horde of zombies, which essentially is what he's doing.
That is, exactly what happens. You shoot him in the chest. You can tell by where you've shot him that if he's not dead by the time he hits the ground, there's not much left in him. He stumbles backwards from the force. If you recall that the first shot against them did not rock them off their feet, but there's not much you can do when you're at point blank range. And he stumbles back into a couple of them who, not uncaringly, kind of take the hit rather than just dodging him, pushing them back into the room quite effectively.
NPCs to go, 2 of them.
Whilst one of the groups is pushed back, the other group from in there pushes forwards over the top of their fallen brethren. You have slowed down one of the groups, but the other one is raring to go. One of the smaller of these amphibians, looking a bit more like a skink than a frog, darts forward with an obsidian knife and hops, knife outstretched, to try and avenge its fallen comrade.
Yeah, I'm also aware for the second group in that I am probably a very viable target because I am slow and limping, so don't worry about shanking me.
Adam, in situations where things where creatures are combat orientated, they'll probably not just take off for you because you're the weak person. They want to win the fight, so they're going for the guy shooting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
no, it's all good.
Yeah,
and I am trying to make myself a target because he's confident. Because Carter's fairly confident he'll survive most wounds.
I miss again. That's 3 advantages. I'm going to say that they push over their fallen comrade and move their way up, kind of cancelling out your blockage with those advantages. So they surge towards the door. In the kitchen, the 4 that are by the doors see the flash of light behind them that illuminate them, and that seemingly puts them in the mind to push forward. They dart into the room, swarming in 2 at a time, which is difficult because they're quite wide-chested, but they are very agile, so they kind of both dash in, and one of them leaps at the table, putting its claws in the flat surface and his hand on the top of the table as it tries to swing down at the people underneath. It's not an attack against you guys. It is attack against the NPCs, and we'll have to see how that goes for them.
Better.
The housekeeper sees them, but is carrying a rifle, which is not good in close combat, brings the rifle up, and the blade, a wicked obsidian curved kind of scimitar almost thing, skitters along the rifle and catches her on the hand, not doing a great deal of damage, but allowing her to pull her hand back and making the rifle not combat ready, essentially. She takes it as a big gash down her forearm, and it looks like they have more of the advantage on the kitchen. The others of the creatures are pushing in, and the kitchen is basically bisected now between you guys and them by this big table. Next person.
Lou, I'll let you take it.
Having seen that this has just happened to Mrs. Tolvin, I would like to raise my pistol. I would like to aim.
Yeah.
And then I would like to shoot the one that's just tried to leap at the table.
Cool. Excellent. Roll your dice. It's just 2. They don't have any range defense.
That is 2 successes and 2 advantage.
Excellent. Have a think about what you want your advantage to be. What's your damage on your pistol?
So that's 7 damage.
Okay. What do you want for your advantage? Do you want him to lose his grip and push him back so he's not...
I would like it to have like effectively shot him like underneath the chin, so it just blasts it backwards off the table.
Yeah. In fact, 7 damage for that group is enough to actually kill this guy. So...
Okay, so first off, it blows this creature off the table just straight underneath the chin.
Yeah.
And backwards.
Yeah.
maybe its body hampers the other ones that are trying to get to the table as well. And
I've got a strain, so I'd like one of those advantages to get my strain back.
Cool.
And then, the final advantage I would like to use to have that body blocking the way of the next one that tries to get in.
They're not massive, but it's made it uneven ground. So if they're trying to get onto the table, they've got to go over their fallen combat. Yeah, exactly. Their blood, by the way, is a black, thick ichor. It's not bright red, and it seems more viscous than normal blood. Okay, who's last?
Me. The kitchen is not feeling very safe. Should we retreat to the drawing room as one?
We're pinned down between two. Don't split any further. They will take you out by yourself if you go off further. Let us take one group out here, then we can move into the hangar.
Okay, everybody then, follow me into the kitchen still. Come on, let's stay together. Let's keep calm. We will get through this as a group. The Colonel is safe. None of us are dead yet. We will get through this together. Come along. And I'm going to continue leading the group into the kitchen then, Mikey.
Okie dokie. Do you want to make a... I'm quite happy for you to make a leadership roll or a coercion roll, depending on what you fancy doing.
Coercion I'm no good at. Charm I'm slightly better at than leadership, but I feel it probably is still leadership realistically.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the roll there is essentially so you can give people extra dice if you want to roll it. It's just, I mean...
Yeah,
difficulty 1 again, because it's very reassuring to have somebody take the leadership. So people are looking to be told what to do. So I don't want a particularly difficult role.
It's a wash.
That is a shame.
I suspect maybe the fact that we're caught between the two groups has now unnerved them. What was a sanctuary is now not a sanctuary, so...
Yeah, there's two things they need to focus on, and you're one thing that's telling them to focus on particular things. So then maybe you've lost them a little bit there, but they're still doing what you say. You're just not getting much any advantages from telling them what to do. Okay, back to the top. Who wants to go?
What is the state of play? Are we? How close are we all to getting into the kitchen?
You're not in the kitchen. Mostly everybody else is. You're still in the hall, and there are two groups coming out of the dining room.
Okay.
But if it helps, the hall probably has another chandelier.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way of... So they're all getting through the door, so I'm trying to close the gap.
Mm-hmm. I would say yourself and Captain Chateau are the only ones still in the hall. Everybody else is piling into the kitchen.
I'm assuming there's stuff like an ornamental trunk and this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or some other ornamental... Maybe like a statue of the guy who owns the building. Something like that. Or some esoteric...
There's not a statue of the guy who owns the building, but there is a statue, not from the horizon, but an ancient... It's history.
Like the god of the sun and the moon statue thing.
Yeah. In fact, I like that. There is a statue of the sun and the moon as people kind of revolving around each other.
Sato, help move this mild blasphemy. And
he grabs one end and the other end. He doesn't quite know what you want to do with it yet, so...
We're using it as a barricade to, like, essentially slow them down so we can seal ourselves in the kitchen, if you see what I mean. To use it as a defensive point so they have to get past the big heavy thing.
A door into the dining room opens into the dining room, so it won't stop the door from opening, but you can basically topple the statue over into in the way, which unfortunately I believe is probably going to be an athletics roll for you, but I'm going to give you a couple of boosts because Sato is helping and he's more of a burly chap.
Okay. I'm going to be really cheeky because obviously that's what you do as a player. If he's doing the heavy lifting, can I figure out a way of making it an effective barricade and therefore justify making this a mechanics roll?
Yep, that I like. Roll me a mechanics. Still have the boosts, as he has suddenly become your assistant rather than the muscle.
He is your fulcrum, but not your fulcrum.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty? 2.
2, I would say.
1 success, 4 advantage again.
All right. Yeah, it pulls across the door. Use your advantage for however you like.
I'm going to give myself a point of strain back.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the rest of the advantage to essentially make it more wedged so we are more secure. Because the idea is to like make it harder for them to get into the kitchen because that's where we're bunkering down.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've picked it up, moved it, balanced it, and then last minute he's held it, and then we've kind of moved it, so it's essentially blocking the door. And the remaining advantages are essentially how effective it is at slowing them down. It's not going to stop them, it is going to slow them down.
Nice.
Cool.
And then I end my round with like both my hands on the back of the kitchen door going,
Okay. So we're up to an NPC group. I'm going to go with the ones that are chasing you rather than the ones in the kitchen at the moment, and I'm going to say that they are going to do some brawl rolls to try and get the door out of the way. They are not as strong as they are good at fighting.
This is when the triumph happens.
They don't have any yellow dice. I'm going to be very impressed if they do that.
Oh, they're cheating.
They do succeed in pushing the statue out of the way, but that is their role. And with that threat, they do take a little bit of strain from it. So the success is 2 successes and 1 threat as they push the statue out of the way, giving you guys a bit of remit for the rest of the round. It is a player to go.
Ross or Lou for me. I'll keep the last slot.
I feel like I should fire up more things, probably the ones that are already attacking the kitchen rather than the ones who are chasing us from the hallway.
You can't really see the ones from the hall at the moment. There's people behind you now, and there's blockages in the way. So yeah, you'd be shooting at the ones in the kitchen.
Right, I'm going to attempt true aim again to try and to upgrade my attack, because that makes sense. What's my difficulty?
It's just difficulty 1, because the one that was in close combat was at close combat. These are at short range at the door of the kitchen.
That's 2 successes, 2 advantage.
Okay. Think about what your advantage should be for, and let me know. Your base damage is
7.
7 because you've got the rifle. So 9. What's your advantage?
Drive them back out the kitchen.
Yeah, simple as that. Let's drive them out of the kitchen. Or hit something else which forms a natural barrier across the doorway.
It's fine, because what you do with those 9 damage is you essentially blow the head off one of the attackers, and he slumps down in the door frame, allowing for more difficult to get in. There are 2 left here, and numerous of them behind you, but you have taken one of them out. We're going to move to a NPC, and at the back of the group, Ed, I'm going to try and hit you again, I'm afraid, as they swarm over the statue and have a go at you. But I'm going to give them a setback because of the bad terrain, and we'll see what.
And the fact that I'm trying to get the door closed.
Yeah. You are the luckiest beaver man I have ever met, because that's 2 advantage but no successes. So they're pushing forward and they're pushing you back, but you are defending against them really well. In the kitchen, however, there are 2 more of them, and one of them, because they feel that they're on the back foot, their first instinct is to attack rather than to run. So one of them pushes forward and tries to jump against the table again to attack the other behind it. They have a setback because of the difficult ground in front of there, and I think they're going to go for... Oh, never mind, that's just an advantage. He climbs upon... Another one climbs up upon the table, but he is unsteady and he's unable to swing his dark obsidian blade, but he's pushed further in. Next, I think Lou, because Adam wants to go last.
Yeah.
There's another one in that prime position of being shot on the table again.
Yes, I would like to aim and then shoot again with my massive Dirty Harry style hand cannon.
Yes. You're still not at the table, so it's still short range, so difficulty 1.
And that is 4 successes.
Oh!
What's your damage on this again?
Standard is 5, so that will be 9.
Describe how that happens, because you're going to take out both of them.
What I imagine happening is, yes, this creature has leapt up onto the table with its weapon raised, and just with absolute dead calm, just the pistol turns to it, fires, catches it clean in the chest. The recoil on this thing is horrendous.
Yeah.
So it blows it back, and the weapon that is in this first one's hand flies backwards and straight into the eye of the mate behind it.
Love it.
And sends them sliding out of the door.
That is incredible. We have 1 person left, and it's Adam, and usually I would round up. I want you to, if you can tell me what your next reaction is. You're in the kitchen. The door to the kitchen is being rammed closed by Ed. There's nothing in front of you at the moment. What's your plan?
As Rakayo limps across the kitchen towards the open door on the other side, he shouts over his shoulder, "Mr. Longcrest, Mr. Tolvin, please help the good captains close that door and secure it. Mr. Dusk, with me, we need to get this shut before any more come through." And I'm going to throw my shoulder. I'm not a big guy, but I do have a stick. So using that as some leverage as well, I'm going to slam the kitchen door closed and hope to hold it closed using my stick to almost... Because I say it's a stick, it is a ornate staff of office, all thick wood and brass fittings, and try to use that as a lever to hold the door closed while the librarian Rilo slams the bar down to block the kitchen door, giving us a moment of respite.
There is a quick succession of 2 doors slamming as the extra people on the kitchen door into the house push against it and slam the door there, and yourself and the librarian are able to push the door closed and put the bolt on for the kitchen. There is just a second of silence as the attackers in the house realise that they can't get through the door and are not mindless. There's a second of reflection from them, clearly, as everything stops. The first assault has passed, leaving the estate scarred, but standing. Blood stains the marble floor, black and thick, and bodies of the attackers lie twisted where they fell, their strange forms motionless under the cold, pale light of Sanctaris' moon which shines through the window. For now, and just for a second, there is quiet. For now, you are safe and you can breathe. But from the stillness comes a sound, soft at first, like a ripple across water, but growing. A chorus of guttural tones rise from the forest beyond the estate. A chant, alien and unrelenting. It builds and builds and builds until, even though you're not sure it's as loud as you think, you hear it as a roar, a wave of sound crashing against the fragile walls of your resolve. The LeRoux estate will stand and fall by your next actions. Will you escape? Will you fight? What is the crystal and why is it affecting these creatures this way? I'll tune in next time and I'll let you know. Thanks for listening. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for joining in with the game, and we'll see you for episode 4 next time.
Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Edge Studios. Our intro music is by the amazing Sly Fox Audio. Check out more of her work at soundcloud.com/SlyFoxAudio. Our outro music is Suburban Outlaw instrumental version by Forget the Whale, used with gratitude under a Creative Commons license. Many of the sound effects and soundscapes are created using Sirenscape, because epic games need epic sounds. If you're enjoying the show and want to support us, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod, where for as little as $1 a month you get access to outtakes, adverts, various other stuff, and my fortnightly ramblings. You can drop us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod, or you can leave us a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to interact with us, there's a few ways you can do that. We are on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter as @ForceMajeurePod, and we're over on Mastodon as @ForceMajeurePod at dice.can. You can also join our Discord, link in the show notes. Thank you very much for listening and being with us as we tell these stories. We hope you are having fun, and we will see you next time.